Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Yuppie Guppy. This is for week 4 and this is week 4B. For May the 8th on a Thursday. And so my dad went to the hospital and that's all I've been thinking about. That's all, just making sure that my family's okay or if that he's okay for sure. But my dad has pancreatitis, which basically means that I don't really know how to explain it. He, they're gonna first. I know that they want to remove his gallbladder. That's the first thing they want to do. But his pancreas was really inflamed, and so they had to wait. They're waiting for the inflammation to go down, and they've been waiting. Okay, it's been 2 weeks. His inflammation has gone down, but it's still not the part where they're able to perform any procedures or any surgery. So that's crazy. When we first heard about this, we thought, okay, maybe it'll take a couple of days, not like a week the longest, but 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, that's how like really everyone's body works differently. And I would say the reason why he had it, I don't know if it could. I think you can get pancreatitis just from not being healthy. I guess, not eating well or maybe stress. I think it's stress related, not eating well. Alcohol for sure is definitely the easy way route to getting pancreatitis or any kind of problems. Just don't be an alcoholic, guys. I'm not saying that my dad is, but I'm just saying that those are the reasons why. Yeah, and my dad he's very fit, like he's strong and muscular, but he's always had like a belly and it's not that big. Like I promise, it's very, very barely noticeable. But he does have a belly, and he's been working really hard. He goes to the gym with me, and sometimes, and he's been working hard to get that belly to go down. But no matter what, it just wouldn't go down. And I think that might be due to him having that pancreatitis or something, or it was maybe his. I don't know how long he's had, his pancreas inflamed or what is going on or how it caused it, but that night on Monday he just got hit real bad. Like he was puking. I think over the weekend, like I think Sunday he was puking a lot, and Monday he was puking a lot in the morning, and he was just not feeling well. And at night is when he was just like, I'll tell you the story. So I remember that night I was at home. I don't know what I was doing, probably cleaning, doing the dishes, or I was gonna get ready to start my podcast, I think, episode, because I normally start late because I get so busy during the day. I'm like, last minute podcast. But that day I remember he'd thrown up a lot, and my mom was already worried. She was like, she feels like something's wrong. She already knows, like the mom knows when something's like wrong, and so she was just not feeling it all day that day either, and she was like worried, and she just knew. We pray a lot. I pray all the time. I mean, I'm talking to God like every second of my life. Sometimes I'm not. Well, actually, not even. I talk to Him all the time, even when I'm like, even when I make bad decisions. I like. Anyways, I'm making this about myself. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's move on. But basically, my dad wasn't feeling good, and we made a doctor's appointment for the next day, for Tuesday. And we're like, okay, hopefully we can go to the doctor and see what's wrong. But that night, man, I'm gonna be a little dramatic. But it was dramatic. It was crazy. My mom was on the phone upstairs with somebody, and I was downstairs with my dad, and man, my dad said like he wanted to go to the ER. He said he needed to go to the emergency. He wasn't feeling good. He was like ugh, like he was puking already all over not all over the place, but like in the restroom. And my mom, like, she was on the phone. She like hung up and she started running. Like I'm telling you, she was running all over the house because she couldn't find her keys. The keys were like somewhere, and she was just running. She was frantic. And then I was just there, like, okay, I was deciding, okay, should I go? Should I stay? Like I was just figuring out because I didn't want to be in the way. Because, like, sometimes I'm just there, can't really help. And I know the less people there are in a situation, the easier it is to, like, figure out where to move and what to do. So, I just didn't want to get in the way. So, I did stay home. But, man, I remember very vividly, like, my dad, he just swung the front door open. and like he didn't run, but he swung it open and like stumbled out the front door. I swear he almost fell into the bushes. Like he was like running. He was like, and my mom is still inside the house. She hasn't even got the keys yet. My dad is just, I don't know if what he was planning that day. He was in such terrible pain. Like I'm telling you, pancreatitis or whatever pain he had, man, it was terrible. I feel so bad for him. It was just horrible. But he ran out that door. I don't know if he was planning to just run all the way to the ER. He wasn't gonna get that far. I don't know how he was gonna do that. But he went out the door. And my mom, when she looked at me, man, I seen like looking in her eyes, like the fear in her eyes was just so horrible. Like it made me like my heart just sank, cause like that's her husband. Like that's the person she loves. She's been with him for like so many years, and we don't know what's wrong. So first off, like when an emergency like this happens, it's the most terrifying thing, because you don't know what's wrong. Like, is he dying? Like what? Like that's the first thing everyone thinks whenever you go to the ER. Like they're on the verge of death. And you know what? Honestly, he probably was. Like I have no idea. If we would have not gone to the hospital, that could have been the end. You know, who knows? But you know, my mom, man, seeing her eyes, man, like full. It was just like, you can look into someone's eyes, you can see everything. Everything. You really do. You really do see everything when you look into someone's eyes. At least for me, like when I look into someone's eyes, I can kind of tell a lot just by their eyes. Like you can tell the emotion is going. Especially my sister, I can see her when she's about to cry. Like I look at her eyes and she has those watery eyes. I'm like, oh, she's crying. She's gonna cry, or she's feeling really emotional. And then like anger is so easy. Like they're just like, oh, come on, you can tell a lot by the eyes. I guess the eyebrows, but it's really the eyes that tell you everything. And when I saw my eyes, it was just like I saw fear, and it was just so like I've never seen my mom look like that. Maybe I have, I just don't remember. But she had such fear. It just like, man, I was so sad. I was devastated. So she ran out the house, and she said like the drive there to the ER was horrendous. Like she had to like pull over a few times so he can like puke out of the car. And it was storming that night. It was storming. It was like thunder, lightning. It was like it was like the most dramatic, man. Like they're not kidding. Like if this was a movie, it was a movie that night. That night was a movie, because like definitely something bad was happening, and like it was just lightning everywhere. It was dark. I was like, Lord Jesus. So they left, and you know, I stayed home, and the first thing I did was I put worship music, and I started praising. I started praying. I was like, I was not wasting no time. You know, I do not take, you know, sickness or anything evil like not seriously. I pray for anyone who's sick, anyone who has anxiety, for depression, anything that like the enemy tries to put in the way of anyone's life is so serious to me. Even if people don't think like, oh, it's just anxiety, go take a drug. Don't do that. I'm sorry. If you have anxiety, depression, go to church. Go learn about Jesus. Like he is the one for you. He will save you. The people are just trying to take your money. That's what it is. I'm gonna be for real. I know some people have trauma, PTSD or stuff like that, and I know it's very traumatic. But I'm telling you, the best people that will help you are the ones at the church who know God, who can teach you about God, who can get you to have that relationship with God, to help you, guide you to be with God, so that God can heal you. Because really, these drugs, these medicine for anxiety or like depression or anything mental, I don't trust that. Like to me, like I would take medicine for physical health. I can understand that, but mental, like I guess the brain, but it just doesn't make sense to me. The mental is more like spiritual to me. Like that is like, it has nothing to do with, I mean, I don't know. There's still so much I have to learn. So don't take my word for it, guys. I'm just saying what I know. And because I trust God so much, I don't trust medicine as much. I'm just gonna say, whenever I have problems, I just ask God, and most of the time he heals me, he fixes me, he helps me. So I'm not worried. But yeah. So they went to the ER, and I was praying, worshiping. I was just like, you know, I cried a little bit, and you know, let it out and prayed, because I was worried. I didn't know what's gonna happen, because I was like, this came out of nowhere. And then from that day on, that night, man, I had trust in God since the end. I have like negative thoughts and stuff like that, but I pray. I told God, you know, I trust you with my father. He's my dad. I love him. Take care of him. And he's your son too. You know, you created him. You know, please take care of him and look at him like your son, you know? And yeah, that's what I did. And from that day on, I've been pretty strong, faithful. I haven't really like let it consume me. I did get really distracted though. I will say that. I wouldn't say I got depressed or I was nervous, but I didn't let it consume me, you know. And everyone reacts to situations like that differently. So I just prayed, and you know, I really do believe and I trust in God that He would take care of my dad. So yeah, that was the whole situation. And then he was moved to a hospital from the ER. So he went to the ER. Then they took him to the hospital that night, to the Woodlands Hospital. And then in the Woodlands Hospital, he stayed for like 2 nights, I think, maybe 3, don't remember. And they told him that they needed to get better equipment to see exactly what's going on. They told us at that place that he had pancreatitis and that they needed to take him to the medical center, which is in Houston. And that's where we went to St. Luke's Hospital, and that's where he's at right now. He's been there for 2 weeks. Yeah, he's been in the hospital for 2 weeks, and he has been in pain every single day. It's nonstop pain. He has to take pain medicine so that it can relieve his pain. And yeah, he's been in a lot of pain. All those since that day and on, he's been in a lot of pain. He says that his back hurts a lot, like there's like fluid, like they put IV on him and they put a lot of IV fluid, so he's very like swollen. His feet are swollen, like I don't even know what's going on. They said that basically his body was shutting down, you know, like he was literally, his body was attacking itself, eating itself basically. And yeah, so I guess, you know, in such a serious situation, like we have no idea what's going on, so take every situation seriously, guys. If you are not feeling good, go to the doctor, and if you're really not feeling good, go to the ER. Like, don't waste your time. Like, you know how your life is normally. If you have any weird symptoms, you start acting strange, go to the doctor, go to the hospital. Don't wait. Just go. Take care of yourself, guys, for real. Because you never know, like, it's crazy. So, yeah, so he's very, like, swollen, his feet swollen, and not to like make a joke of a serious situation, but his foot, it looked like the feet from Wall-E, the people from Wall-E. That's his foot, you know, the people from Wall-E's feet is all like poof. That's how his foot looked like. I was like, what in the world? Like, I don't understand, like, why is that happening? They did do a scan on his feet, and I don't know if they got the results of why his foot was being swollen. Both of his feet were swollen, but I don't know. I guess when your body is on the verge, it starts acting out of whack. But yeah, I will say he is doing better now. His pancreas his inflammation got really small. I mean, a lot better. I think they're waiting for like a little bit more before doing the procedure, but yeah. So the procedures he will be needing, I think, a surgery for taking out the gallbladder, and I heard that normally when people take out the gallbladder, it only takes them like a day or 2 to just get the surgery, and they're fine. But I think because my dad's pancreas was really inflamed, it's taking this long time, and it was crazy. Good thing he has no infection, and yeah, because if there's an infection, oh my gosh, I don't know, this would be even worse. But thank God, you know, he doesn't have an infection. So yeah, I think that sums up everything. Yeah, so he's doing a surgery for gallbladder, and then I think he has some gallstones, or I don't know what they call it, some stones in like either his intestines or in the gallbladder, or I don't know, like in his body. I don't know, I'm still trying to understand what that's happening, but he has that going on, and that they plan to remove it by like sticking a tube in his throat, I think, and like, I don't know, they're gonna suck it out. I don't know what they're doing. To be honest, I don't know. They be saying things like, they said something about like one of the doctors was saying that the reason why his back was hurting, he's in so much pain, is because it's collecting all of the stuff, and collecting it all in one place in a ball, and then whenever it does that, then they can like suck it out of his body. I don't know. God made our bodies to heal itself, and you know, if that's what it does, if that's what it needs to do to heal itself, I guess so. But that's what they told me, that the reason why his back is hurting is because it's collecting all of the stuff back there, and it's gonna collect. And right now it's scattered, so the doctors are waiting for it all to become all together, so that it can all flush out. They can like poke a hole in him, some craziness, and it'll come out. And so for me, you know, I learned a lot about the hospital. I learned a lot about nurses. and surgeons. And it was interesting. You know, I've never had to go to the hospital, like, really ever in my life. So this was a new experience for me. I've only gone to, like, maybe visit my grandpa. And whenever I broke my arm, but that was more of the emergency. And they just kind of, like, I was just there for, like, one day. Or, like, for one, like, yeah, I wasn't even there for a whole day. I was just there for, like, a while. They fixed it, popped it in place, gave me a cast, and I was fine. But, yeah, I haven't been in the hospital. At least at that, I don't remember. So that was my first time, like, being, and I was there a lot. Me and my sister visit my dad every day. My mom, since that Monday that he went to the ER and then to the hospital and then to the other hospital, my mom has not been home. Okay, she has not been home at all. She's been with him since that day. And I'm telling you, like, there is no one like my mom. There's no one like my dad. Like, she loves my dad. She will take care of my dad no matter what. She'll put everything behind, don't matter. Like, that is just how much she loves him. Same with my dad. They love each other so much. Like, I'm telling you, my parents, they work hard. They work hard to make their relationship the way it is. And, you know, God has blessed them for it. I'm just saying. But my mom has not come home. There is a shower there at the hospital, just in case you guys are like, what? That's crazy. Yeah, she showers there. The hospital room is pretty small. It's not a good place to sleep at. She's sleeping in, like, a sofa chair, but it, like, flattens out a little bit so she can, like, lay down. But I don't know. She's definitely not comfortable, and my dad's obviously not comfortable. He's always in pain. But they do give him a lot of medicine, so he has his moments where he can relax for a little bit, but then the pain medicine goes away and he comes back. He's like, oh. So, yeah, that's what's happening with that. And, you know, me and my sister, I guess, we were home, so we take care of the animals. A lot of things I learned about my dad does that I never knew he did, because now I'm taking care of his house more often since he's really gone. So, you know, starting to see, like, oh, this is how you do that? Like, okay. So, just taking care of the house more often, keeping it nice and clean, and feeding the animals, watering all the plants, because, man, he has to water the plants a lot. Like, I didn't think about that. Like, we live in Texas, it's really hot, and, like, those plants they're on the verge of death. We had 2 fish die, okay? I'm sorry, it's my fault. There was, you know, I said that it was thundering and lightning that week. I had no idea that the fountain in our pond had, like, shut off, and so the fish weren't getting, like, enough oxygen. And that week too, I overfed the fish on accident because, you know, I had, like, this little fish container, and, you know, I open it and it's like a big hole, and so I was shaking it and I accidentally like threw the whole thing in there. So 2 really big fish that we have died, and it is all my fault. I believe it was because I overfed them. I threw all that fish food in there. But someone else believes that it's because the water fountain turned off, and I had no idea it was off because our electricity went out for a little bit. And so I think that whenever it turned out, I had to, like, turn, like, a switch on. I didn't know that there was a switch on that you had to switch to turn the fountain in the pond on. So I was a lot of learning about that, and, you know, now I know. And yeah, we lost 2 fishies, very sad, and they were big. And you know what? I like to think that, you know, they were very fat and greedy fish, and that they ate all the fish food, and they deserve to die. No, I'm just kidding. That's just me coming up with, like, a story or just making up an excuse. Because they were the biggest ones. The 2 ones that died, they were the biggest. And so, you know, hopefully now the other fish have, you know, they're not competing too much for food, you know? Trying to make it positive or I don't know, making stuff up. But, yeah, that's what was popping, you know. My sister takes care of the plants, really. She waters the plants, and I'm the one who takes care of feeding all the animals. And we do have a lot of animals. And also taking out the trash and doing dishes. And she does that too, but... Well, I do the trash mostly because she can't stand that. And, you know, I learned a lot about mold because the fruit, like, they started molding, not molding, but the fruit, like, was, like, dying. We had bought a lot of fruit that week, too. So all the fruit we had was, like, and my sister has not been eating that much well. So, like, I feel like I'm the only one who has to eat. We bought a lot of food, basically, a lot of groceries that week, and they were starting to spoil. So I was trying to eat as much as I can. Like, I was like, bro, like, all this food we bought, like, especially the fruit and the bread, like, I'm the only one who's gonna be eating it. My mom's not home. I technically could bring the bread to her, but, like, no, like, no. So, yeah, all the food was dying or, like, getting all moldy, and I was like, oh my god, I need to eat it. So I was trying to eat as much. I had bought 2 racks of bananas, one for me, one for my dad that week. And, like, I had to, like, figure out I had to eat all of them. That was a lot of bananas. I don't even know how I did it. I was just like, bro, I spent this money, I need to eat it. I need to eat it. So, hopefully I'm bulking up. Like, I look kind of big. I'm getting bigger, maybe. I don't know. But I did try to eat a lot, and now we have no food because we ate all of it. Or it expired, and I had to throw it away because you can't eat it. So, yeah. It's just me and my sister in my house, so that's what's been happening. And yeah, it was interesting. So a lot of the week, me and my sister, every single day, we would visit my dad and my mom at the hospital, and bring food for my mom because she does not want to leave my dad. She's very serious about this kind of situations, and I understand that a lot. I would be the same way. I don't trust everyone or everything. I don't know what they're doing. I need to make sure that they're taking care of this person. Like, no. Nurses are human. They're people too. They make mistakes. They're not perfect, and and you gotta learn exactly what they're doing. Like, I need to figure out exactly what's going on. So I'm glad mom's there. She's taking notes. She's figuring everything out, making sure that they're treating my dad right, and making sure that she's there for him, physically and mentally, for whatever it is that's going on over there. And it's a lot. He's been going through a lot. Some of the things I've said, like, he went through a lot. I think another thing he said, that he had this nightmare that he was waking up over and over again in the hospital with even worse pain. So he would have pain, and then he'll wake up and have even more pain, and it was like agony. And so he felt like, I don't know. I'm telling you guys, the enemy is crazy. He just wants to destroy everyone who's really fighting for the truth, about God and our life. So, and it's crazy because that week I was ready. I was on fire. I was putting all of my I was really excited to do, and I'm gonna make Christian stuff. Like, that's my sorry, I need water. Like, I'm sorry, no, I'm not. There's so much art and, like, videos that have no meaning to them. I mean, it's not. I'm sorry. Like, they just, like, they create something, and, like, yes, it's a good story, but, like, okay. I mean, I understand it's a good story, yes, but me personally, recently, as I've gone closer with God and learned a lot about, the truth, I'm like, oh my God, all these stories are missing, like, God. They're all missing that godness in them, like, the truth. Like, I just, they're just missing all of that. And, I've been watching anime, I've been watching all these shows, and, anime is very dramatic, very, like, it's very funny at one time, and then also very dramatic and dark, and, that's very interesting. But it's lacking real life. It's lacking, like, I see all the animations right now. It's cute, it's fun, it's really good, well animated, the art style is amazing. But the stories are lacking. It's the stories for all of them. Even, like, the movies right now, like, it's the story. All of them, the stories suck. And that's just my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone. But, like, I just think they suck. And I know everyone's like, oh, why don't you make a better one? I'm trying to write this book, bro. I'm trying. It's just a lot of work. And it's a lot of work because I want it to feel real, okay? And you can't make a book feel real without God. You cannot make the book feel real without God. And that's what I'm saying about all of the things I used to like. I used to like a lot of anime. I used to like a lot of videos and shows. And now I don't really like them anymore. My favorite anime was Made in Abyss. I look back to that and I'm like, why did I like it? I like the music, but I think back to it and I'm like, it's just, there's so much evil in that anime. There's so much evil in it. There really is. Like, I don't know what. Like, I ignored it. I think the world is trying to get people used to ignoring evil. It's just trying to get people to like, get used to it. To get used to living a evil, immoral lifestyle. That's what the world wants. And I'm not about that life. I'm not trying to go there. I was living that life, and I'm not trying to be like that forever anymore. I'm, like, moving on. So there's just so much craziness that people overlook. They really do overlook. And it's because they're like, oh, I just want to live my life, do whatever, blah blah blah. But like, no, take care of your life. Like, it is very important. You need to be healthy. You need to pray. You need to talk to God. Ask Him what the right thing to do. Without God, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes without knowing. You're gonna like do evil things and not even understand that you're doing evil. You won't even know. And your body and your heart and your mind is gonna feel that it's just gonna feel it. That's why depression and anxiety kicks in, because you know that you're empty. You feel empty inside, and the only thing that can fill you up is God, the Holy Spirit, and the only thing. And really, it's all, you just learn more about the truth, and you choose not to live that life. You come into the world, and you choose. You make a choice to live in the world or to live in God. You make a choice. You want to live in the world, okay, that's your choice. You want to live in the spirit with God, then okay, that's your choice. And that's pretty much it. That's all the choices you got. You got two choices. And for me, the world's very corrupt, as you can tell. Like, everyone who, like, you can see everyone complaining, freaking out about all the craziness happening in the world. Like, you should know the world's corrupt. Like, at this point, like, yes, there's so many problems. The world's corrupt. Hello, like it's funny to me when I see people being like, oh, I hate the president, or I hate like everything in the world, or we have no money, blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, obviously the world is corrupt. I think everyone knows that. That's why we have Jesus. That's why we have God. The people who corrupted the world are working for the enemy, even if they don't know they are. They have no idea. They just don't know God. That's the truth. When you don't know God, you don't know love. You don't know peace. You don't know patience. You don't know self-control. You don't know a lot of things that God teaches you. And yeah, that's just the truth. Like, I just hear people like people are just in pain, and I'm not trying to make fun of them or be rude. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. Like, I really, like, following God has changed my life, and I can see all of my sins. I can see all the sins of other people, and I'm really focused on trying to change that. And through animation, I have no idea why God has put in my heart to do animation, or to make stories. That's what I want to do. Ever since I was a kid, I made stories. Granted, they were terrible. I made murder mysteries. I was into, like, a lot of drama and like horror. That was what I was into growing up. But that's because as a kid, the enemy was like, I'm gonna get him to get into this, get him into this, get him into this as a kid. Because everyone starts in life attacked by the enemy as a child, because that's the easiest way. You can manipulate a child so much more easier than you can manipulate an adult who knows what the world is like. A kid doesn't know what the heck they're doing. That's why it's so easy for them to be confused, and for them to make such terrible decisions, and it's dangerous for a kid. So take care of the kids, guys. For real, tell them the truth. That's why I want to raise my kids at the church, because if they're raised out there in the real world, they are just not gonna be happy. So and I want them to be safe. So that's the plan. I'm gonna make all these animations. I am an animator, and I'm going to make Christian-based stories. Animations based on God. And these stories I'm making, I'm not even gonna say it's for me. I want to pray. I'm gonna try and practice, because I'm not I'm not there yet where I am like continuing. I'm coughing a lot. It's just because I think I mentioned in the episode before, I had slept with my mouth open a lot, and the fan is just trying to kill me. It's just like throwing in all of these like not bacteria, oh my god, all of this like dust, and I think I just collected all this dust in my throat, and I'm just like, ugh, not making it. But yeah, for me, my goal is really, I want to make Christian based stuff. It is fantasy, but it is, and when I say it's not me, because here's the thing. I learned something. I'm gonna share you guys what I learned, because I'm learning all the time. And I really learned that a lot of times I'm trying to create things, and it's me. Like, I'm creating it. I want to make this character. I want to make this. I want to do that. And this is how everyone thinks in the world. But I have to learn that it's not me. Especially if I want to make something that's glorifying God, it is not me that's making it. It is God. It is God who's making it through me, if that makes sense. So for me, I really need to practice praying before I work, praying before I go to sleep. I'm not gonna say I'm sorry, because like, this is, what am I gonna do? I'm coughing. Gotta drink water. I don't even know where this water came from. It was just here. I don't remember putting it there, but I'm glad it's there. Yeah. So really, yeah, I just coughed a lot and now I just forgot what I was talking about. That happens, you know. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was trying to say. See, I'm feeling enemies messing me right now. They're trying to like distract me. My goal really is for me to learn to really put all my faith in God and to not make that work my own. Like I don't want to take any pride for the work I do, and I don't want to take any credit for it, because if I really want this book, animation, anything I create, if I really want it to be something from God, if I want it to, you know, help people so that they get to know the truth about life, then it can't come from me, because I am only human, obviously, and I can only do what I know to do. And if I try to make it from myself, I'm going to be stressed, I'm going to be anxious, I'm going to be depressed, tired, exhausted. I'm going to like stay up all night. I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm not going to have peace. I'm going to just, that's the truth. This is human life, and I cannot do it without God. So the other thing is, if I try to make it just for me, I'm going to put in things in the story that is probably not what God wants me to put in there. Probably things that don't glorify God. Maybe I put in something prideful or maybe lustful. Who knows? Those are some big issues in film. A lot of lust. A lot of weird lust, sexuality problems. Excuse me. And I don't want to put that in there by accident, you know, or on purpose. Sometimes I think it's good and then I realize, oh my God, what did I do? So I'm really gonna get to practicing on praying for God to use me as I create this work, and I'm really taking it seriously. I know a lot of times I like to joke around, but this is something I really do take seriously, and I'm learning to take seriously. Man, you have to learn to do. When you learn something, you're not gonna get it right the first time. Like, people need to understand, you're never ever gonna get it right the first time. Nothing in life. You go cook some eggs, you ain't gonna get it right the first time. The second time, you're not gonna make it right. You're not gonna even make it. Every time you cook eggs, it's gonna be different. So stop. For people who have anxiety like that, every time you work, every time you do something, it is not gonna be perfect. It is not gonna be the same. It is always gonna be different. God made life to be different all the time. So do not be like OCD guys. Those who have OCD or feel like they're always like, I need everything to be perfect or need organized, because I'm like that a lot. I don't like to say I have OCD because I don't like to diagnose myself with any kind of sickness, because I'm blessed in the name of Jesus. But, you know, it's good, be organized, clean, but it's not going to be perfect. Don't stress yourself out. Stop. Self-control. Control yourself. You can, trust in God that, it might be messy right now, but in the future I'll have time to clean it. Like, that's where trust in God, that's where your anxiety and OCD goes away. When you put your trust and you tell God, it'll be done in the name of Jesus, amen. In the future, trust in Him, all in God's timing. So yeah, I want my art and my work to come from God, not from me. And whenever I finish, man, I'm gonna be so excited. Yeah. So it took me a long time to really learn that and to understand that. So really, to me, honestly, that hiatus I took from that podcast, I was learning. I was going through a lot, and I was learning so much. And I will say, I was also being distracted. It was also always a spiritual warfare going on all the time, guys. You need to understand. And for me, the biggest problem that all of us go through spiritually is distractions, okay? And physically, same thing. Kinda, not really. Excuse me. But, I'm telling you, the phone, you're distracted. It is, I like, temptation, right? The enemy is always trying to tempt you to do whatever, okay? He would tempt you to do evil all the time. And God wants you to do good. Remember the difference, okay, guys? So the enemy's always going to try and distract you, like always. Like, you wake up, the first thing you want to do is scroll or watch YouTube and just watch a show and binge watch it for the rest of your life. So make sure you're not getting distracted. That's one of the biggest issues that everyone faces with today, because our phone is just right there. And as a kid, like we were hooked onto the phone, or I was hooked onto the computer at an early age. And with a computer and stuff like this, it's addiction. Like you get addicted to, you get so used to going on your phone watching videos that literally the world is trying to get you used to being addicted to like technology. Like they literally are trying to make, like it's like literally what they're saying. They're making you trapped in being stuck on the phone. They're making you believe that you can't do anything. That's what the world literally. This is one of the major themes in one of my books, is that the world is trying to make you believe that you cannot succeed, that you cannot do anything. That is the first thing the world wants you to do. It wants you to believe that you cannot achieve what you want to achieve. Okay. That is what it is. It's telling you like there's no jobs for you. You have no money. You won't be able to work on these big projects because you won't have time. You won't have the money for it. There's so many reasons why the world is trying to make you believe that you can't do it. And the truth is that you can. It's just that the first thing that's stopping you from achieving, the purpose that God wants you to do, and God has many different purposes for you. One of the biggest distraction. Sorry. One of the biggest things that keep you from achieving your goal is distraction. Like, all the time. Every day you get up and something distracts you, that's the enemy trying to distract you from God all the time. From what he wants you to do. Or from your goals or whatever. So, yeah, try not to be distracted, guys. Like, for real. Like, stay vigilant. Like, you need to be sharp. Like, take that and run, like get it out. And it's like, it's so annoying to me, and this is why I talk about it, because I hate being distracted. Like, it makes me so mad. I waste a whole day being distracted, and I'm just like, this is not, like, what is going on? And I'm like, if you're like me, where anything you can like stare at it for hours. Like, I see a butterfly and I'm like, wow, that's the beautiful thing ever, and I can just sit there and watch it. And like daydreaming is a distraction too. Daydreaming for a little bit is good, come up with ideas, but all day, all night, like, I used to be able to do that. I daydream all day, all night. I'd be in a whole other world. And I learned also, like, not, like, recently, this year, maybe, that daydreaming is one of my biggest distractions. More than the phone, really. Same with music. Music makes me daydream, so that was another big distraction. So I'm learning a lot about myself and where I need to focus. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I just a little bit more detail about what was going on. The drive to the hospital to visit my dad, it is a lot of work because it's like an hour long drive there and back because of traffic. Like, the traffic is horrendous. It's in the city. It's crazy. And so we would like spend like an hour or so, like 2 hours just driving every day to visit mom and dad. And we would bring our parents food, clothes, anything they would need. So, like, occasionally they'll be like, hey, we need this, we need that. We'll make sure we go get it for them. So, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much everything that summed it up. I have put my faith in God. He's taking care of my dad. He's showing him miracles. He's going to make a miracle out of the situation, or a testimony out of the situation. And I see my dad changing in the way he sees life. I see him, like, when I see him now, I'm like, okay, that he's like, I don't know why God put this situation in his life, but I really believe that it definitely changed him, and he's starting to see life differently maybe after this. And it really did impact our life. It changed the people around him, like his brothers, my uncles. Like, they're already like trying to take care of themselves, because my dad is the oldest of his brothers, so a lot of them do look up to him. And maybe he forgot, or maybe he got too caught up in the world, having fun with family, and or too stressed with work, and it caught up to him. But after this happened to him, I started to notice his brothers, like my uncles, trying to take care of themselves now. He said that one of them was like, oh, I'm not gonna drink anymore, or I'm not gonna or at least not as much, because I know some people like to have fun, but it impacts the people around you when you see someone go through something, and especially when it was so serious. Not to say that he was put to be made as an example, but when you see someone like that, who's going through that, you start to think about your own life and be like, oh, this could happen to me. And honestly, I remember, I think they mentioned that one of the brothers said that they're more unhealthy than him, and they've never had this happen to him. So for them, they're like really worried, because they're like, I thought that you were more healthier than me. I'm definitely not healthy. And so when that happened, I'm pretty sure they're like, okay, we need to like take care of ourselves. That's a really good thing that comes out of situations like this, where people can see, to try and take care of their body more, their physical body and their temple. And that goes for me too. I'm like, I'm gonna take care of my body. I need to make sure I eat well and stuff. So God has a reason for everything, and you can learn. And whenever people say that God has a reason for everything, I like to think, people who don't believe in God, or who pretend he doesn't exist, or who just don't know about him, they won't understand. They won't see it. They won't see that the reason that God put something there. So to them, it's meaningless. They don't care. Everything's all over the place. But whenever you do have God, and you see, and he's part of your life, you do see the reasons why God put everything there for you, or why he put this there, or why this exists, or why this is happening. You start to see it. And I really think that only those who try to have that relationship with God will be able to see it. And then those who just don't, they just won't understand, or they're too consumed in the world for them to understand anything that God is really trying to show them. And it's really sad. And I hope that they can, I hope people start to change and see, the good things about, life, and not be overwhelmed with the evil, bad things in life that the enemy tries to make you feel like you're suffering, but you're not. God's with you. Talk to him, pray to him, worship him, and yeah. All right, that's the end of this podcast. Overall, I'm very faithful. I trust in God. He's got my dad taking care of him, and he'll be out soon. And I'm gonna get this ball going. I'm an animator, and I'm gonna get this stuff done. Okay, animator, writer, everything. God's gonna help me get it done. I won't do it without him, for sure. It's the best for everyone and for me. I don't want to take control of this. If it was all on my shoulders, I quit. I'd be done. I'd be out. I'd be knocked out. But this is all on God. I'm trusting God that he will use me for the goodness of life, and I won't choose to go down an evil path, hopefully. I don't think I will. I love God too much to go down that path. So I look forward to sharing you guys what I create. I'll try to share with you guys as much as I can in the future. And yeah, I'll see what's poppin'. Thank you for listening. See you guys next time.